Nigeria Info, the talk station of the nation. It's 6 o'clock.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. On the news this evening, INEC collates governorship results of 22 LGAs in Bevy State. INEC suspends collation of governorship election results in parts of Abia and Enugu states. Governor Wike congratulates Makinde Mohammed Sanwo-Olu on election victories. Gunmen kill security guard in Rumukande community, Ikwere local government area. On the foreign scene, Chinese President Xi Jinping in Moscow to promote peace talks. I am Kalada Kurubatibo. Good evening. Results from Awuda West local government area are still being expected as the returning officers collate result at the INEC Collation Center in Bevy State. Correspondent Ibu Ruwari reports that collation for the remaining local government area has been shifted further to 7 p.m. So far, 22 local government areas have been collated, with PDP winning in all. Earlier, there was a rowdy session by opposition political party agents following the acceptance of results by the state local government area coalition officers. They claimed that the results collated by the returning officers were not done at the polling units and wards. Responding to their complaints, the state governorship coalition officer, Professor Akpofure Rimruke, asked the agents to officially write to the commission. In another development, the media and communications officer for Yaga Africa, Moshood Issa, has lauded Saturday's governorship election as an improvement from the February 25 presidential election. Speaking on Nigeria Info FM's Morning Crossfire, Mr. Issa said that Yaga Africa was able to download about 60% of the governorship elections in time, as results had been uploaded from various polling units across the 28 states that held elections from 5 p.m. on Saturday after voters had cast their votes.
I think there has been significant improvement in the governorship election, especially as regards to election logistics. Also for technological deployment, I think there has been an improvement in the functionality of the beavers and the fact that the results are also being uploaded in the results viewing portal compared to the presidential election where at 10 p.m. there was no result on the portal. In this case, in most states that we observed that we downloaded results from, at least in every state, up to 60% of results were uploaded in the portal.
Mr. Issa, however, said election results that were not counted from the polling unit affects the transparency and credibility of the election process.
In the case where there are situations where results are not being counted at the polling unit, it's cast doubt on the credibility of the process. And that is why I talked about politicians upping their desperation game, trying to capture some aspect of the results management process. And this happened in states like actually Rivers, Lagos, Delta, Kano, Akwa Ibom, and even Taraba State and some other states where political parties were able to capture the result management system.
In a related development, a university lecturer, Kasarashi Innocent, believes that the engagement of academics by INEC as coalition officers in the electoral process has weakened the electoral system and status of lecturers in the country. Dr. Kasarashi, who's a lecturer in the Department of Linguistics and Communication at the University of Port Harcourt, said some of the lecturers have been pulled into the corruption system.
The decision of JEGA to involve academics in the process of election, it is not a bad idea at all. Has it added any value on the system? My answer is a big no. I think it has actually diminished the system and diminished the status and perception of lecturers, in the eyes of members of society. The problem is not the lecturers, the problem is the system. The lecturers are taken to be collation officers, and intentionally or unintentionally, these same lecturers have been sucked into the rot that is in the system.
Dr. Kasarachi said the responsibility to restore sanctity in the electoral system lies with the judiciary.
For me, the singular key to arresting this rot in the electoral system or process of Nigeria is the judiciary. If somebody bends the rule, there is a law, an electoral act, by the time the court sits and there are 10 elections, then out of the 10, only 2 are found to have followed the electoral act, and they nullify the remaining, and they declare other people winners. I'm telling you the truth, the system will sit up. The only solution to Nigeria's electoral problem is the judiciary. But again, is the judiciary ready to do that?
Still on elections, the Transition Monitoring Group in Bever State has accused the police and personnel of the Civil Defense Corps in the state of aiding and abetting the hoodlums who disrupted last Saturday elections in parts of the state. State coordinator of the group, Nathaniel Akpos, tells correspondent Onyekachi Wosu that the action of the police will make it difficult to restore the confidence of Nigerians on the electoral system.
As an observer, I was in the field looking for the police people to help protect INEC officials to carry out their legal responsibility. But unfortunately, the police came and aided the thugs to remove INEC officials and the uncounted ballot papers to an unknown destination, where in less than 2 seconds, we saw an uploaded result in the INEC server. With the aid of the Nigerian police and the Nigerian Civil Defense Corps, it's so disappointing that they could not protect the vote of Nigerian citizens.
Mr. Akpos also said a review of the electoral law is the solution to Nigeria's electoral problem.
The Act only focused on election and results. The Act did not focus on characteristics that will protect the election and the results. Don't forget the provision of the Act says that the INEC and the tribunal will rely strictly on the result on the IREV. Future electoral act will begin to look at is to look at how these results were uploaded. As CSOs will make reports and recommendations.
Moving on. INEC is suspended for the collation of governorship election results in some parts of Abia and Enugu states. INEC's National Commissioner Festus Okoye in a statement said collation was suspended because the INEC office in Obingwa local government area in Abia state was invaded by thugs yesterday and officials held hostage. He also said reports from Enugu state called for a review of the result from Nsukka and Nkanu local government areas in Enugu state. The PDP candidate in Delta State, Sheriff Oboro Wori, and APC governorship candidate in Ebonyi State have been declared winners of the governorship elections in their states. INEC has also declared the APC governorship candidate in Benue State, Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia, as the winner of the March 18 poll and the governor-elect. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has congratulated Governors Seyi Makinde of Oyo State, Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State, and Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos on their re-election. Governor Wike in a statement said the re-election of Governors Makinde and Mohammed through free, fair and credible elections is a triumph for Nigeria's democracy. The senator representing Enugu East, Chimaroke Inamani, has formally withdrawn his membership of the PDP after he was defeated by the Labour Party. Senator Inamani in a statement said after consultations with his associates and constituents alike, he had decided to quit the PDP due to irreconcilable differences with the national leadership of the party. Still ahead, gunmen kill security guard in Umakunde community, Ikwere local government area. Stay tuned as we go for a quick break.
You are tuned in to
Nigeria Info.
We'll be right back after this.
Still listening to the major news at 6 and 92.3 Nigeria Info. Welcome back now to the rest of the newscast. An eyewitness says gunmen killed a security guard, Innocent Igwe, at Community Secondary School, Rumakunde, in Ikwere local government area last night. An eyewitness tells our correspondent that the gunman came at about 8 p.m. in an SUV and shot Mr. Innocent Igwe at his duty post. The eyewitness also said that the gunman also shot sporadically and ran away, abandoning the SUV.
In the night around 8 o'clock, we began to have a gunshot everywhere. So after like 30 minutes, we went back. The gunshot, they were just shooting on our security men, and there were 3 in number. One died at the spot, and the other 3 ran away. So the no gunmen left their vehicle there, the jeep, and escaped. The person they shot is from the community too. They have took the cops to the family.
Also, Glory Igwe, widow of late Innocent Igwe, also spoke.
My husband go work yesterday evening. They shoot him for that side. 2 children were against. Nobody to take care of my children. No help. I need help. No help. Then just carry my husband. Wait for nothing. I need help. Oh, I need help. I need help. We go carry wetin go eat. For duty post now they kill him. Oh, my husband no dey find problem. My husband no get any problem with anybody. Only him, the only son.
Reports say the mother of Endurance, Elenwo, a former councillor in Port Harcourt City local government area, was shot by suspected cultists this morning at Egede Street, Maltudio, Port Harcourt, over alleged refusal of the former councillor to pay election security money to some cultists. It was gathered that the suspected cultists, led by one Zubi, met the former councillor in front of his house, demanding that he pays them their money. The cultists, who became angry after the former councillor insisted he had no money, began throwing bottles into his compound. According to the report, the suspected cultists later opened fire on Mr. Endurance, which missed him but hit his mother. When contacted, the River State Police PRO SP Grace Ringe Koko confirmed the incident. She said the woman is receiving medical attention in an undisclosed hospital and investigation is ongoing. The cost of transportation within Port Harcourt has slightly reduced. A correspondent who visited some major routes observed that the cost of transportation from Mile 1 to Rumokoro went from 500 naira to 400 naira, while from Choba to Rumokoro reduced from 400 naira to 300 naira. Choba to Eleme is now 600 naira instead of 800 naira, and Choba to Rumola is now 500 naira instead of 600 naira. Some drivers who spoke to our correspondent called for further reduction and regulation in the price of petrol.
To my 300 naira now. Men suppose look onto the price to bring the price down. Now we have been expecting the government to bring the price down so that we too can come down to the normal price as before.
Before we arrive fuel 450 or 500 naira, then we will carry 8 to 800 naira 700. As a fuel don't come.
Has announced his engagement to his partner, Anne Leslie Smith. He split with fourth wife Jerry Hall last year. In sports, Manchester United striker Marcus Rashford, Chelsea midfielder Mason Mount and Newcastle keeper Nick Pope have withdrawn from the England squad for this month's Euro 2024 qualifiers.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
China's President Xi Jinping has sat down for talks with Vladimir Putin in Moscow, kickstarting a highly anticipated 2-day visit. The Russian leader welcomed his dear friend to Russia before saying he had studied Beijing's 12-point peace proposals to end the war in Ukraine. President Xi commended Putin's strong leadership and said he was sure the Russian people would re-elect him at Russia's 2024 presidential election. It is President Xi's first visit to Russia since Russian troops invaded Ukraine in 2022. On the news this evening, you heard INEC continues collation of governorship election results for 20. INEC continues collation as 22 local government results collated in Rivers State. Governor Wike has congratulated Governors Makinde, Mohammed and Samolu on their election victories. INEC has suspended collation of governorship election results in some parts of Abia State and Enugu State. Gunmen have killed the security guard in Rumukunde community, Ikwerre local government area. On the foreign scene, Chinese President Xi Jinping is in Moscow to promote peace talks. The news was edited by Martha Okere. Cloudy weather in Port Harcourt this evening. Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. I am Kalada Kurubativo. Good evening. Stay tuned. Conversations continue after the break.